Aleca Hughes is an American Studies major at Yale University, an academic all-conference, and captain of the Bulldogs women's hockey team, where she is a forward and one of the leading scorers on the team. Aleca represents her team on Yale's Community Service Program Committee and participates in many of her team's community service projects. One such project is the adoption as a Bulldog buddy of a local girl named Gianna, who's recovering from brain surgery. Aleca surprised Gianna recently, taking time to visit her when she learned that Gianna's father had died, even though she herself was in the middle of her own final exams. That tells you something about Aleca. The reason she's here, however, began when her teammate Mandy Schwartz, then a junior, was diagnosed with leukemia in 2008. Mandy was an incredible human being, full of life and joy, the hardest worker and most inspiring person on the team. After receiving chemotherapy, Mandy returned to the team in January of 2010. But her remission was short-lived, and that spring it became clear she needed a bone marrow transplant. Over the summer, Aleca began a public awareness campaign, resulting in widespread media coverage in both the United States and Canada about the need for bone marrow donors. Back on campus that fall, Aleca organized with her team a bone marrow drive, hoping to find a match for Mandy. This was to be the first of 3 drives, now known as the Mandy Schwartz Marrow Donor Registration Drive at Yale, which she has spearheaded and which together have added over 2,500 donors, resulting in 6 matches, 6 lives so far. When school resumed that fall, knowing of the financial burden the illness was placing on the family, Aleca organized a Whiteout for Mandy, a fundraising hockey game in which everyone would wear white and for which all donations would go to the family. The opposing team arrived at center ice with a check for $1,000. Along with the game, Aleca organized a silent auction, and between the 2 events raised over $22,000 for the family, with the largest number of people ever to see a women's game at Yale present. Unfortunately, Mandy Schwartz died in April of 2011, but Aleca's efforts did not. Realizing the great need, she continued with the bone marrow transplant drives, set up and began a nonprofit organization, the Mandy Schwartz Foundation. Then came the second Whiteout for Mandy, raising over $25,000, with the funding going to the foundation to provide immediate support for those with life-threatening illnesses like Mandy's. Today, Aleca's efforts continue, and the project has expanded. Princeton, Dartmouth, Middlebury, Northeastern, and St. Lawrence all have 1 or more teams participating in a Whiteout for Mandy. A teammate rode her bicycle 500 miles to raise money, and other efforts are underway. As her coach says, the most moving takeaway from Aleca's work is how her efforts have snowballed and how she has influenced countless others to help a fellow human being. She has helped to educate others about leukemia and marrow donation, and she has inspired many by helping to create a culture of giving. Please welcome a Yalie with the heart of a bulldog, Aleca Hughes.
Thank you. Before I begin, I'd like to thank the Wooden family and Athletes for a Better World for hosting this incredible event. And I'd like to say a big congratulations to Coach Summit on an outstanding career, and congratulations to all the other finalists that are being recognized tonight. I'd like to thank my parents, my brothers, and all the great coaches and teachers I've had throughout my career who've empowered me and challenged to be my best every day. We are all here this evening because we share a love for sports. My love for hockey started at a very young age and helped mold me into the person I am today. Hockey has taught me that hard work is its own reward, the team success, its own joy, and resilience in the face of adversity, its own grace. In recent years, hockey has taught me how to be a role model and how to give back to what one loves. Hockey also introduced me to Mandy Schwartz. Mandy was exceptional. Her purpose in life was beautiful and pure, to live simply with boundless passion. Mandy was always true to her character, but no more so than when she was on the ice. I was lucky enough to be Mandy's line mate. During that time and the fleeting years that followed, Mandy taught me how to live selflessly and guided by a purpose. In the simplest terms, watching a teammate and kind soul quietly fight for her life was life-changing. Mandy was a gifted player. Her desire to improve and to support her teammates' improvement was tough-minded. Every day was an opportunity to create a masterpiece to Mandy. Even when she saw the shadows lengthening around her, and when she knew her time was short, she insisted on keeping a spin bike in her hospital room and at home. Despite the immense fatigue, she kept pedaling. She never stopped pedaling. Last spring, before Mandy passed, we spoke over the phone about expanding our efforts. I was wandering through Yale's old campus, while Mandy was home in Wilcox, Saskatchewan. Although we were in seemingly different worlds, we shared the mission to help others. When I asked Mandy what she thought about creating a nonprofit, she eagerly agreed and asked what we would name it. I told her I thought it would be a good idea to call it the Mandy Schwartz Foundation. But her initial response was, "Can't we call it the Yale Women's Ice Hockey Foundation?" Mandy did not seek recognition nor attention, but she did understand the magnitude of her story and how her fight might help others in years to come. So she agreed to the name, and the Mandy Schwartz Foundation was created. Our nonprofit will continue Mandy's legacy by helping youth hockey players and their families as they confront life-threatening illnesses. A growing network of people across North America, united by their love for the game and desire to pay it forward, have come together to initiate and participate in various events, ranging from marrow registry drives, cord blood donation awareness, to fundraiser hockey games, triathlons, and marathons. Through our efforts to identify a match for Mandy and others, we have added over 3,000 people to the National Registry, resulting in 6 saved lives. To be counted among collegiate sports role models is an overwhelming personal honor, and I am humbled by this recognition. But my joy in speaking with you tonight comes from the opportunity to share my friend's story with you and tell you about the work being done by so many fine people in her name. I hope you're inspired to join us and seek every opportunity to make differences, both great and small, in the world around you. Whether it's a high five to a youth hockey player at the rink lacing her skates, or helping find a perfect match for a cancer patient in need, we all have the capability to make a difference and enrich the lives of others, just like Mandy did. Thank you.